everyone. How are you? My name is Akiko Tsuruga. I'm a jazz organist from Osaka, Japan, now based in New York. I live in Brooklyn, New York. Um, by the way, I arrived in New York January 31st, 2001 today. Yeah, so today is my 21st anniversary. So I'm so happy to be here and thank you for tuning in. So I would like to talk about my life before come to New York, came to New York and after. By the way, I was born in Kumamoto Prefecture and grew up in Amagasaki City. We are just outside of Osaka City. And the area I grew up is very unique area. Rakugo master Katsura Beicho and his family live near my parents' place, and also a very active sports district. Former Yankees player Hideki Rabu and Masahiro Tanaka also grew up same area, and my sister, my brother, and I played volleyball as well. And I started taking a organ lesson when I was 3 years old at the Yamaha Music School, and then I was graduated from the high school. I went to Osaka College of Music. Then after that, I started playing jazz piano around Osaka area. And, I used to play at the Don Shop, which located across the street from Blue Note Osaka. And, sometimes the musicians played at Blue Note, stopped by after their show. And, because of we had a jam session until 5 a.m. every night. And, I met so many musicians like Jeff Tain Watts, Kenny Kirkland, and, our crew, and Toshiko Akiyoshi. And also Don Shop had a Hammond B3 organ. So, Joey DeFrancesco, Jack McDuff, and Larry Goldings came. And then, and also I met Dr. Lonnie Smith there too. Then I met Grady Tate. And, when I met Grady Tate first time, he played at Blue Note with Jimmy Smith. And he stopped to Don Shop after their show. And at that time, I played piano, and he heard my playing, and he said, "Yeah, your playing is pretty good, but play like a speaking language." At that time, I play no intonation, so then I followed his advice, and my playing was so much changed after that. Then, he became my mentor. And then, at the same time, I met Fukushi Tainaka. Yeah, he's a great drummer. And his wife, pianist Shizuko Yokoyama. They were giving a workshop for the musician in between tours. And, he showed some great album about Wynton Kelly and Red Garland, and I loved their playing. and because of their different, I felt New York from their playing. Then I started thinking about to move to New York, and you know, and the Grady Tate helped me to move to New York so much. Um, and then I moved to New York. I arrived in New York on January 31st, 2001. Um, then I started going to study English at the LaGuardia Community College, and you know, speaking English it was not the no not was it's not easy to me, but at that time actually um it was very hard to understand, and I never forget my first day at the English school. Teachers speaking, of course, teacher spoke English, and everybody spoke English, and my brain was like shaking. That was my first experience at the school, and then I heard that there is organ club in Harlem that named Showman's, and I really really wanted to play organ, so I asked my friend Yoko Suzuki, and we went there one night. Um, you know, that night, Jerry Weldon and Michael Dawn played, and Jerry let us sit in. Um, that was a like a life-changing night. I was so happy. I played B3 at jazz club in Harlem. So then, since then, Jerry and I started playing together, and we still play together. And Mike and I became very good friends. And one day, Mona, she's the owner at the Showman's, offered us to play Mondays with Japanese female jazz musicians. And of course, we said yes. And the group was Nabuko Kiryu on vocal and Yoko Suzuki on the saxophone, and I play organ. And we couldn't find a female Japanese drummer, so we asked Daisuke Kurata, because of Daisuke, she's not she, he he has a funny, cute face, and probably it's good for the ladies wig. So we started playing there, and Nabuko named the band. Our band name is J Jazz Sisters. And my career in New York has started. It was June 2001. Grady Tate was, he supported us so much. When he was in town, he always come up and sang a song with us. And since I started playing at Showman's, I get a call from other musicians at Showman's gig, and at that time I very speak English, and it wasn't easy to speak on the phone, so they asked me for the gig through Yoko or Nabuko, And, I so appreciate that. Now I know, it's not easy to ask gig for the non-English speaker, but gig was so much fun. And once we started, we don't need a language, just keep conversation by music. But on the break time, it wasn't easy. I was trying to talk, but not keep conversation. And I learned little by little, and also I was impressed so much about the system. I mean, we play much longer time in Showman's. When I was in Osaka, we always play. We usually play 3 30 minute set, but at the Showman's, we play from 8:30 to 12:30 and 1 hour set. In the weekend, at that time, I think start 10:30 p.m. and end 3:30 a.m. and people still smoking cigarette. So every time I go there, next day my hair and the whole clothes and my room was very smoky. And I had so much memory at Showman's. And in 2003, so Shozo Iwanami, Japanese critics, jazz critics, came to Showman's. And just after that, guitarist Satoshi Inoue introduced to Japanese producer. Then they decided to have a recording to me. I had a recording with Grady Tate, Satoshi Inoue on guitar, and Frank West flute and tenor saxophone. So that's my debut album, Harlem Dreams. And then on 2006, legendary alto saxophone player Lou Donaldson came to Showman's. He was sitting in front of the band and, with his, that like crossing his arm. And after, at that night, I played with Andrew Bills and Neil Smith. After we finished the set, he came to me and he said, "You sounded better than any other organist around here. You need to work on comping behind the home players, but I tell you what to do." Then I started playing Ludana song quartet. That was totally life changed. Lou took me to all over in the country and the Europe and the Japan. So much fun. I could see many different countries. And also, I joined Lou Donaldson Quartet after my mentor, Dr. Lonnie Smith. What's a fantastic thing. And then on 2007, my American debut album, Sweet and Funky, was released from 18th and Vine label. The same year, Lou Donaldson got a gig to play at the Carnegie Hall, and then my parents came from came to see us from Japan. And while I was driving my car with my parents, we were listening on WBGO. That was a morning jazz with Rhonda Hamilton. And suddenly, Rhonda introduced me and my CD. And my parents didn't understand everything, but they picked Akiko, 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 and they are so happy. They are still talking about that day. And, you know, Sweet and Funky album received 4-star award, a 4 stars review from Downbeat magazine, and that it was selected as one of best album on 2007. And at that time, I used to. I'm sorry. I used to play once a month at the garage restaurant in Greenwich Village, and I had a great experience over there to see the people. But I had a one great night. Um, After we finished playing a set, a guy came up to me to ask me, Akiko, do you come to Colorado to play? And he said they have a jazz festival. And that person said, if you come, I got you a good drummer for you. And wow. Of course. Then I went to Vail Jazz Festival, and that guy's name is Howard Stone. He is a founder of Vail Jazz Festival. And the drummer he mentioned to me was Jeff Hamilton. When we started to play on the stage at Vail, in Vail, I thought, wow, what's this? So easy to play. And we, smiled each other. That's it. Since then, we're still playing together. Jeff played my album commencement, and Graham Dector joined us, started playing with us, and we recorded So Cute, So Bad. that's that's under my name. And then we started as a Akiko Hamilton Dector, and we recorded Equal Time. And we have been playing all over the US, including Digi's Coca-Cola in New York City. We had 2 days full house audience. Yeah, that that's made me so feel great. I played my hometown, New York, and so many people came to see us. And also Jeff introduced to John Clayton, and then I had a chance to get to play with their orchestra, the Clayton Hamilton Jazz Orchestra. As an organist, playing big band is our dream, definitely. I was thrilled so much because of my first organ record was The Cat. Jimmy Smith. Jimmy Smith played with Oliver Nelson Orchestra, and when I played with Clayton Hamilton Orchestra, I feel so incredible. I mean, big band sound make me bring up and swing so hard. Um, I felt like, wow, I am in the dream. Then John and Jeff asked me to join their European tour, and we are going to go to Europe next year. So I'm so much looking forward to. And then 2020, that was, everybody. I mean, everybody got through hard time, but yeah, me too. I already had some big gigs lined up. Um, so I was so shocked when when I heard that everything work all canceled. People were saying all kind of things on the internet. Some of them saying that live music would never come back. And they say that, yeah, Akiko, you should find some other things. And they said, really? And I don't know. I didn't know what to do. Then one day, I got a great news. The record company people, producer, called me, and he heard the news from Downbeat magazine. He said, I was selected Downbeat magazine critics poll rising star organ. They said, hey, wow. You know, um, I just, I was just so happy to know that people were, people know my playing, and the people who had been checking my playing and then my work, my job. So yeah, I thought that it came from the God. And then, some venue asked to play with my husband, Joe Magnarelli, on live streaming. And it was so much fun to play, even online, somebody watching our playing. So then, you know, um, we played at the small jazz club, uh, live streaming. At that time, still no audience, but I was so happy to play with somebody else, especially the drums. I played with Joe Farnsworth. He's so great. And the guitar, Charlie Sigler and Jerry Weldon. I was I was crying, and also can't stop. Very hard to stop smiling. And then when New York City was open little bit, I played at the Roxy Hotel in front of the audience. Yeah, that was, I realized that how much I needed to play the music and in front of the audience. And then, and also, music is very important things in my life. Yes, and also, our neighbors were very kind. They very supportive for our music. And then one day, one of the neighbor family gave us a bottle of wine with very nice comment. And we decided to do live streaming at our place. And last year in 2021 has been a mix, of fun and sadness. New York City suddenly opened, and we all musicians started very busy. And on July 6th, Michael Don and I planned for the birthday live streaming for Dr. Lonnie Smith. We'd like to show our love to Dr. Lonnie because of Dr. Lonnie couldn't move at that time. And 9 organists, 5 guitarists, 4 drummer, 4 horn players, and 1 vocalist got together. You know, Pat Bianchi helped us to bring 2 organ, and he fixed, and that was an incredible concert. And Dr. Lonnie watched everything, and he enjoyed so much. Then in November 3rd, Fukushita Inaka and Champion Fulton and I, myself, had the Lou Donaldson 95th birthday celebration at Digi's Coca-Cola. Lou's family came all over from the country, and Fukushi and I haven't seen them for a long time. So we already started the great time before Digits. And at the Digits, we had a full house audience. I mean, so many people, and so many great musicians came up and played. And for the end of the stage, Lou came to the stage and he sang, and George Coleman played behind Lou. That was a wonderful moment. I never seen so many great musicians play together. Then Dr. Lonnie passed. Actually, before Lou's concert, Dr. Lonnie went to heaven. Yeah, we have only 3 minutes, but let me talk about Dr. Lonnie. Since I moved to New York, I listened to and watching his playing, all over the place because of organ always goes straight. And I learned so much things from his playing. Sometimes we play together, and he play right hand, I play left hand, and then we switch, and I realized the difference between his playing and my playing. And he showed me so much things, great things, the music, how to play organ, and also how to live as a musician. And he loves watching TV, so he always play organ, watch TV. And when he wants to see the TV, he never stop his left hand, but he turn up the volume. And that, yeah, we have so much memory. So I miss Dr. Lonnie, but I from now on then I like to share my great memory with to the younger musicians, especially the organists. Then Dr. Lonnie is playing like so much emotion, so much passion. He used to say, when I wake up, play organ. When I have a breakfast, play organ. Lunch, play organ. Dinner, play organ. Then before go to bed, play organ. And if I don't feel like to play, just touch the organ. So, yeah, that's most important things I learned in New York. And you know, um, Dr. Lonnie passed away, went to heaven. Then so many things happened, and there, sad things happened to me, but I still playing, and there, I'm going to keep playing rest of my life. In 2022, I'm still playing gig, and I believe once weather gets better, we are going to play more. So hopefully see you in person, and live music definitely make you happy. And this year I'd like to have a recording too. So hopefully see you somewhere. And um, this is a great my 21st anniversary, and I would love to say thank you to Gail Boyd, and also New York in the United States made my life much happier. Brought so many happiness, including my husband. So they, I'd like to say thank you to everyone who has been supporting me and encourage me and playing music with me. And本当に Thank you so much. ありがとうございました。Hope to see you soon. And please take care. And yes, see you soon. ありがとう。